Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Katie.
Okay, Buns,
Present.
Lawson,
Here.
Wyatt,
Here.
Reister.
I think he's on mute, ain't he?
It might be, the TV might be on mute too.
No, I unmuted this.
No, the
Actual.
the volume. Get the remote and push the mute button.
Where is the mute button?
Should be.
Matt, are you there?
Stand up and do a jumping jack.
Raise your hand.
There he is, I
There
heard
we
him.
got you.
All right.
Sorry.
No, I turned it down.
And,
I don't see any video. Is there any video?
yeah,
She's screen sharing.
Camera on.
do you don't see this page?
I see the page, but I don't see like a video of the council.
Oh. the
Oh,
camera's
that's
not on.
because I don't have it. Hold on.
Hang on.
Man,
It's been a day around here, Matt.
All right.
I told you it's been interesting. Okay, and Sewell is absent. It show, wait, maybe not.
Clara wants in.
So I have her marked as absent, unless she pops in.
She's excused though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
excused, but.
Yeah.
Hold on, Matt.
Oh, I'll wait till
No
you-
problem.
Oh, that's right. You gotta use that, my old one.
He's got a new one at work.
There we go.
Can you see it? I can't see it. Hold on.
As long as they can see it, you're good.
There you go.
All right.
Yep, great.
Motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Consent agenda, anything to remove? If not, I'll take a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a question about, I'll second it, but I have a question.
Okay.
We had talked at one time about gas being purchased in Cedar Falls still. Do we have a resolution that's not going there or whatever the case may be, because I see the gas bill is still continuously high. Cedar Falls and not here?
We're getting some of our diesel from there, right, from Cedar Falls?
Yeah, well, and I'll look at it because I know we did something at it was either the Public Works or Public Safety I think it might have been Public Works that we talked about it, and I believe that Cedar Falls was still cheaper.
Right. And if they were heading that way, it made sense to get it there.
We just need to make sure we look at that though, because there are road use tax funds that then we are paying to Cedar Falls and not to Hudson. as
No,
well
that
as-
doesn't matter. Road
Okay.
use has nothing to do with gas.
What about,
And gas tax, we're tax exempt, so you don't get gas.
no, but there is still, business supporting, and we have the 5% overage here. So I wanna make sure we keep an eye on that, because being our Hudson council, or Hudson municipal trucks and using Cedar Falls gas just concerns me.
Yeah, I'll pull out the spreadsheet again, but I believe it was way over the 5%.
Yeah, because we had that in the spreadsheet and had action at the Public Works Committee confirming what we were doing.
I believe so.
we can dig that out.
I was gonna say, because we need to, there's a lot of things that we need to look to add into that too, as far
Some of
as
the
hours
discussion
and,
was that neither of the gas stations are owned privately here in Hudson. They're corporately owned outside the
they're
city.
still paying property taxes here.
They are, but it made sense because they were traveling to Cedar Falls anyway. If that's when they needed gas, they needed to get it, so.
If they're getting it there, but I can't believe that every time that the amount of gas that we're paying in Cedar Falls is just because they're just in Cedar Falls then,
Yeah, pull that out.
They're-
Take a look through the
there are
spreadsheets.
separate trips going there, so,
Recross-check and communicate
thank
with
you.
you. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing. I'll open the public hearing regarding the approval of the preliminary plat to Lot 2, Beaver's 4th minor subdivision plat. Anything written? Oral? Jerry? Anything?
That's,
You're on the annexation one? Okay.
okay.
That was, so what you're concerned about is the annexation. We'll hit that second. Anything you wanted to mention on your lot two?
Pretty much gonna look same as what we have for the other
Yep.
business condos in front of Red Dot now, or, so pretty
Yep.
much same exact thing, so.
Okay. Close the public hearing. Open the public hearing regarding annexation. Anything written?
No.
Oral? Now, Jerry.
Now we're talking. Okay, one of the things that I'm concerned about out there, of course, is that I own the land all around what's going to be annexed out there. Of course, we weren't informed at all of what was going on there, which is probably none of our business, because Kurt could, and Fruitnik can do whatever they wanted because it's their ground. But one of the things that concerns me is that the county has had this business where you had to have 40 acres for the last, I don't know, I've contended with it for probably the last 70 years. I've been here 50, so I know it's been a long time. And one of the reasons the county put that into effect was to stop this kind of urban sprawl that we're having now, because it was costing the county too much money to put in all these extra driveways, to maintain all these extra roads and so on. So now what's happening is, and I don't blame Kurt for this, Kurt's just doing good business, but what Kurt wants to do is to come in there and cause more urban sprawl. Now, what's going to happen is that the city of Hudson is going to inherit a bridge out there that Fruitnik runs several semis, probably a week over that thing. Sorensen runs feed trucks over that thing daily, many feed trucks, not just one, several feed trucks. And I don't mean pickups,
Sure.
I mean semis. Cahill, the man who lives on Cahill's property, parks his semi-tractor out there. So that thing comes and goes over that bridge almost daily. The guy who bought Hughes's place out there has a landscaping business. He's made that road almost as busy as it is on the east side of 58. So my point being that Hudson is going to gain maybe what, Kurt, I think in Kurt's paper there he said 4 or 5 houses on there, and Hudson's going to get to provide a bridge. The next thing is that when it rains, like if it rains 3, 4, 5 inches, even a 3-inch rain in the right times, will flood that road out there in front of Sellers. Now, I mean so you can't pass over it. The gravel washes into the ditch. The county is smiling about this because if you annex it, then you're going to be out, the city is going to be out there putting gravel back on this road every time we get one of these 6-inch rains, or a 5-inch rain, or a 4-inch rain, or even a 3-inch rain. So my point is that is Hudson going to gain enough by putting in 4 or 5 houses out there on that property to be able to build the bridge, or rebuild the bridge is there, of course, or to provide a bridge that's going to provide for all the other houses that are going to go in out there. The other thing is, we own, our family owns probably 500-600 acres out there in various locations. Now, if we decide that we want to start putting in subdivisions, which is a part of our business, that's what we do. Are we going to be able to get the same accommodations from the city of Hudson, such as the sewer that was run up South Main? Are we going, if I demand it out there on Hudson Road, am I going to get sewer? I'm just curious, as far as where Kurt's at there, he's going to be able to demand a sewer and water there, and the city of Cedar Falls, after what happened about 5 or 6 years ago, is not very accommodating to requests from the city of Hudson. In other words, I'm talking about if we have, are we going to put in a lift station to get the sewage over, or are we going to be able to run it to Cedar Falls? Just some points, and Kurt's within his rights, he owns your property. But I'm just wondering about what it's
Yeah.
gonna do to,
I'll give you a few responses, Jerry. The bridge, I don't really have an answer for that one. I hadn't thought about that, so I'm glad you raised the issue. I'm not sure what rating, as far as condition that is. We get reports, Chrissy and I get reports as far as condition of every single bridge in the county. So we can take a look at that and see what the issue is on that one, if we've got an issue. Relative to your comments on sewer and water, we are not providing city sewer to him, we're not providing city water. His water will be coming from rural water, and the sewer will be on individual septic systems, because now the county allows septic systems to be on 1.5 acre lots. Does not have to be the 3 that used to have to be. So these will be zoned so that he'll be doing that, so we won't have any city obligation. Now, will there be a city obligation for maintaining that road? Yeah, and your comments as far as the gravel, since we have not been maintaining that, we're not exactly sure what that is, but if it's a case of gravel, probably the first thing we will do is look at extending the double seal coating that we have down past to that end point of the city now. We would probably extend that double seal coating from a public works perspective to make sure we minimize that type of stuff. So that's the only specific answers I've got for you on some of those comments. Any questions of Jerry? Or
I think you ought to take a little closer look at it.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
Kurt, any comments?
I mean, we're gonna be doing it the same way what we did right out there with Panther Self-Storage and the business condos and Tony's Plumbing and all of those. Everybody has their individual septic tanks out there and rural water. So it's really not, I mean, ideally, would we love, sewer, and does it make sense to get it from Cedar Falls? Yes, but as we know, that's likely not gonna happen.
Jerry's comment's correct there as far as the
And, yeah, I mean,
relationship between Cedar
if
Falls
we
and-
could get Cedar Falls to play nice and the utilities, that would be fabulous for everybody on board, but I think we probably broached that in the past, back from when we were initially putting in the
2012.
storage facility
Yep.
and tried to cross that bridge, and it wasn't,
Maybe with some of the change in administration and things, we can.
it could be really interesting.
And I think, Jerry, on your question about if Geisler were to want to have development on out yours, as long as they're connecting in a row, absolutely, we'd look at it from a standpoint of potential annexation and coming into it.
No, I don't want annexed.
Okay?
Anyway, I want de-annexed.
I didn't think so, so.
You know I want de-annexed, I've been
Check on
fighting
that.
that for 50 years. The other thing that crosses my mind, when you start putting in all these sewers and on these various properties, we're gonna end up with the same kind of a situation as they have over there at Washburn.
I don't have enough engineering specifics. I think from a level, I'm not sure it would be the same as Washburn. I understand your comment.
But Washburn sits on sand, I grant you
Sure.
that.
Yep.
And we're gonna look like, right now, we're starting to look like Evansdale and Elk Run Heights and so on, where they hodgepodge buildings in. It's unlike what we did, like what you and I did out here on Glenwood Chase and what Tom Peterson's done over here and what Cedar Falls requires when we go to put in a subdivision. That's the kind of thing that I would think Hudson would want instead of an acre here and an acre and a half here and an acre and a half.
Well,
That's just
here
a
we're
big-
looking at acre and a halves in multiple. You got a number of acre and a halves on the north side of Ranchero, you've got a number of them on the south side. So numbers start to add up from that perspective, as opposed to a single one here, a single one there. Like in the Glenwood Chase, and as well as the upper ridges, they are on water, they are on sewer. All of that went into the economics of the tax base versus the cost. I think from a standpoint that if there was significant, my opinion would be, if there is significant commercial development at some point between Highway 20 and Ranchero that would necessitate and justify bringing water and sewer, city water and sewer over from where it is right now, at basically at the edge of the Twin Oaks, the Dahlstroms, then if it ever got pulled across towards South Hudson Road, then it would be an opportunity for landowners west of South Hudson Road to say, hey, would you run down a line so 15 years from now, when a septic system goes out, they'd have the option to connect to full city services.
Not
That
the
would be my crystal ball.
Not the option, I think, as I understood it, they have to hook on South Main, don't they, in 10 years?
South Main?
No,
No.
Butterfield.
You
Butterfield.
mean on Butterfield?
That's what he's talking about.
They're required if it is on the adjoining. So the ones down Butterfield, yes, if their septic system goes out, they have to connect if that line, and there are stub ends on their side, so yes, it does there. It does not impact the ones on Ranchero that are south, because we have no sewer main going right up Ranchero. It's in the Twin Oaks subdivision behind the houses. So there's a little bit of back and forth in there. Some of them, most of them are definitely down Butterfield, because that's where the sewer line came from the sewer plant. So it's,
And the other thing, only one other thing that keeps crossing my mind is, this, one of these years, it's gonna happen that we're gonna have, the city's gonna have to pave, Butterfield. I mean,
we definitely think at some point in time, we've already had some cost estimates, full asphalt, so.
okay, so my point being that you've got 150-foot frontage or 300-foot frontage on some of those, and those people are not gonna wanna kick in to, paying for street assessment by their property. I know I've been down that road in Cedar Falls.
Understood.
And if we're doing the same thing on the other, I mean, we're just perpetuating our problem, making it bigger. That's all I gotta say about it.
Thanks.
I'm not that
And
against
no, and I understand Jerry's point too. I mean, exactly. The thing is with where we are at directly on, and Georgie brought this up directly, right across Ranchero on the other side. You know, we have the plans already we have it all plotted out and everything for an additional 7 residential lots directly right across the road. That's in the works, and we were anticipating excavating, starting, but with, you know, $12 2x4s and everything else, it's like, it's probably not a good idea to plop that down, just see what happens until that, so. And this as far as the annexation and everything was already in the works long before that,
Sure.
so.
Yep.
So,
We had, one of the guys that digs for us, had 13 houses scheduled to be dug this spring, he's had one.
yeah, oh yeah, there's a lot of people backing out, it's like, now's not the time to put a road in.
A
let
really
alone make
cheap
it.
mortgage, just really high expenses.
Yeah.
With that, I'll close the public hearing. General government, Hudson City Council maintains the right to waive the first and second readings of the ordinances presented and may pass the third and final reading of the same ordinance within the same council meeting. Item A, discussion action to approve the second reading of ordinance 844, an ordinance authorizing tax exemption under the urban revitalization plan for industrial use in accordance with Hudson Code of Ordinances 8.07. This is for 3640 Fast Lane Unit H and 3620 Fast Lane Unit F and G that we passed first reading last meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Lawson,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Buns.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Item B, discussion action to approve resolution 2781, a resolution for approval of preliminary plat for lot number 2, Beaver's fourth minor subdivision plat.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Let Matt have it.
Roll call.
Reister,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Item C, discussion action to approve resolution 2782, a resolution approving voluntary annexation. This is Kurt Beaver's request.
Can I time out before this, before
Sure.
we ask for anything on this? With some of this, just researching as far as, this is with the bridge and with those other things that are coming up, is it a huge deal to wait 2 weeks to do this? Does this annexation need to be done now? Or can we look at that stuff before we actually move forward with this?
It's not gonna matter on my part.
I mean, because it's a resolution, so it's not like it takes 6 weeks, you know, to go through. Would 2 weeks kill you?
3 weeks.
Okay, 3 weeks.
3 weeks, well, but I'll go with it, you know, because I don't wanna make.
Sure.
I just wanna make sure with the
I don't wanna
cost
make-
of bridges and
That's
things
fine.
like that, we wanna make triple check, because I appreciate Jerry bringing that stuff up too.
So are you offering up a motion to table?
I would offer a promotion to table this.
I will second that.
Any discussion on the tabling? Roll call.
Hold on just a second, sorry. 1 second. Okay, Wyatt,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
If it was the first reading of 3 readings or something, I would say let's move forward and then we can still make adjustments, but if this is okay with you.
Yeah, no, I understand the, yeah.
So Wyatt tabled, Bunn seconded to
Table,
and then we'll bring it back.
correct.
All right.
Thanks, Jerry, you don't have to stick around for the whole meeting if you don't want to.
But you can if you want.
Me neither, right? I'm done.
No,
too,
Kurt,
right?
you have to stay, for some reason.
I think, no, this way Jerry and I can go talk and we can say,
The bar's open.
it's probably not a good thing. No. I could, but then I wouldn't, you know, it would be, I'd be better off not going, let's
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Item D, discussion action to approve resolution 2783, a resolution for approval of road closures for the Hudson AMVets Post 82.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Bunce,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Item E, discussion action to approve resolution 2784, resolution for approval of hire, setting wages, and approving temporary part-time summer recreational helpers for the city of Hudson.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Reister,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Bunce,
Aye.
carries 4-0.
Item F, discussion action to approve resolution 2785, a resolution deleting property for the Hudson Northern Tier Commercial Urban Renewal Area. And this is that lot 2 of Curse, so we're going to be taking it out in 2 actions here. Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? Roll call.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Bunce.
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Item G, discussion action to approve ordinance 846, an ordinance deleting that same property from the tax increment financing district for the Hudson Northern Tier Commercial Urban Renewal Area of the city of Hudson, Iowa pursuant to section 403.19 of the Code of Iowa. And on this one, I would like a motion to waive the first and second readings of this ordinance and pass through the third reading, because it's simply documenting the deletion.
Didn't we do it the other way last time, that we waived second, we passed first and, however we're supposed to do
Yeah.
that, I would make that motion. I think.
Are
we
you
pa-
talking from the last meeting?
Yeah, didn't
Oh.
we pass the first reading and then waive second and third?
I don't
But
remember.
on here it
I know we
says
did it
that,
differently than what it was.
Exactly, and I'm pretty sure that's the way it is.
But on the Dorson Winnie is kind of goofy. We can do it that way if that's your
However
motion.
it's supposed to happen.
and we might wanna change, if, yeah,
Yeah.
'Cause it
it's in
says
here.
You can do it
Third
either way.
Final reading.
yeah,
You typed it wrong.
I didn't type it.
it's been that way.
So,
To
so,
approve ordinance 846. Yeah. Because either way, if whoever motions to approve it and the second, that's how it's gonna get put into the proceedings for the minutes, so.
We've done it both ways.
Yeah,
We
we
have done
have.
it where
We have.
motion to
Heather- yeah, Heather
waive
last
first and
time-
second reading
And
and
pass
pass
directly
through
to
to the
third.
third. And we've also done, I moved the motion, the first reading and passed the second, third reading. So it's however you
and
want
the
to
only
work.
time I heard that happen
Was
was
last
last
week.
meeting. Other than that,
Yes.
it's always been,
But I wonder if Heather wanted it done for that reason.
It-
All right,
I think it's how you said it and she was just clarifying
okay,
last time. Is my personal, that's how I think. She just was like, yep, we can do it that way. Just write it up this way.
perfect.
Okay,
So then we're gonna pass the first and waive the second and third,
okay.
Okay.
okay,
is my motion.
okay, we got a second?
Motion to,
Cause then we didn't have to do two.
Two different
Before we
motions.
had to motion to waive first
Oh,
and second,
yep.
pass third. This one we
Yep,
just pass first and waive second and third all in one.
Yep.
So that's my motion,
Okay.
motion to pass first and waive second and third reading.
correct.
Wyatt,
Okay.
okay.
And Bud's
Second.
got the second, right?
Sure.
She does now.
Discussion.
Put it in her mouth, George. She was gonna say no, but whatever.
Well, I thought I'd heard it, so. Roll call.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Bunce,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
motion carries 4-0.
Item H, discussion action to approve resolution 2786, a resolution setting a date for public hearing on the designation of the expanded Hudson Northern Tier Commercial Urban Renewal Area and an urban renewal plan amendment. Public hearing will be on June 28th, and that is for the Lot 2 of Beavers to get it back in. So I have a motion to,
Set the public hearing?
yeah,
So moved.
Second?
any discussion?
I don't want my name on the
Roll call.
paper anymore, it has to be.
Lawson,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Reister.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Number of informational items in there, reminder items, regularly scheduled meetings held at council chambers except for electric board and library board, public safety committee meeting May 27th at 4 p.m. Public Works Committee, June 16th at 7 a.m. Are we having a Public Works Committee meeting this Wednesday?
No.
No.
Okay. Mayor's Task Force, June 15th, we may actually have that. At 5 p.m., Personal Admin Finance Committee meeting, June 28th, 2021, 4:45. Next council meetings, there will be next council meetings on Monday, the 14th, and Monday, June 28th. However, I'll give you early notice now. We will probably have a special meeting. It'll probably be person or it'll simply to set a public hearing date, right? The one
Yes,
we
I
missed.
gotta, yeah,
So we've got a few things, we'll get it worked out hopefully within the next week, and then we may have to, in fact, have another special meeting slightly after July 1st, cover some stuff for timeframes.
Okay.
So Matt?
Yep, let's adjourn.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor say aye.
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 Thanks, Matt,
Thanks all.
bye.